You are very being brought to Himalayas. The reason itself is to understand the energy of the nature. Understand the force of the nature. One day Ganga is taking a turn and changing the course of Himalayas. The other day Himalayas is taking the turn and changing the course of Ganga. One day the landslide and whole Ganga's course is changed. The other day flood and whole Himalayan range is changed. Understand the force of the nature. Unless you see the grandeur and force of the nature, you will not understand there is something exists which is beyond our being. So, when this energy can run the whole show, can't it run your life? It can. Understand and relax a bit from the idea, I am the doer. One more thing I tell you, the moment you relax from the idea, I am the doer, you get something called D. D means intelligence. Intelligence. Buddhi, D. There are two things. Buddhi means the intelligence associated with the idea, I am the doer. D means the intelligence away from the idea, I am the doer. Intelligence minus the idea, I am the doer, is D. Intelligence plus the idea, I am the doer, is Buddhi. Your Buddhi will become D. As long as you have Buddhi, you will be handling your life. When you have D, the whole existence will handle your life. Understand, you want to handle or existence should handle. Decide your choice. Now let us enter into the fourth sutras. The asuras, the demons, are those who are enveloped in the darkness of self-ignorance. Those who are killers of the self go to the world of the asuras after death. Beautiful sloka. Can all of you sit straight a bit? Head, neck, backbone should be in the straight line. Sit. Let us understand. Asurya namate loka antena tamasavruta taganste pretya bigachanti yeke chatmagano janaha. So next sutra. Beautiful sutra. The asuras, the demons, are those who are enveloped in the darkness of self-ignorance. Those who are killers of the self go to the world of the asuras after death. Asurya namate loka andena tamasavrutaha tagunste pretyami gachanti yeke chat mahano janaha. The asuras and the demons, let you understand, the asuras, the demons, are those who are enveloped in the darkness of self-ignorance. Those who are killers of the self go to the world of the asuras after death. Upanishad classifies the whole humanity as a two category. One is the person who encourages and makes the self to live. The other person who kills the self, that's all. Killing the self means not understanding who you are, not having the spiritual knowledge, not having the self-realization. Here a beautiful word, self-ignorance. If you do not know who you are doing Atmahatya. If you do not live based on your self-knowledge, self-enlightenment or self-wisdom, self-realization, you are killing yourself. You are wasting yourself. If you kill yourself, you get something called Atmahatya dosha. It's a very deep level of understanding which you need to realize. Most of us don't live according to ourselves just for the sake of social reasons. Many of you want to come and stay in the ashram. Many of you want to learn more and more. Many of you want to live more spiritual life. Are you able to do? You don't do. Why? You think something else is important. Something else pulls you back. So even if you know yourself, if you are not able to live, you kill yourself. Understand? It's a very deep level of understanding. I am not telling you all of you jump into the ashram. Even where you stay, if you know something is truth, if you know something is ultimate truth, and if you don't have the courage to live that life, that way of living, that kind of style, if you don't live according to your realization or truth, you live in self-ignorance. The self-ignorance way of life leads you to darkness and leads you to the life of demons, life of asuras after death. So at least for the sake of life after death, live the life according to your light and realization and enlightenment. Next sutra. Next sutra says, अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनत्येवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तत्तावदो नान्यतेत्यदितिष्ठ तस्मिन्नभो मातरिश्वा ददाति अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनत्येवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तत्तावदो यानच्चेति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नभो मातरिश्वा ददाति. Understand? The highest spiritual element, the Atman, is unalterable by nature and has a quicker motion than the mind. The sense organs cannot reach it, for it precedes them all. In its stillness, it surpasses all moving things. Only in its presence does the air govern all the activities of all living beings. Let me read out once more. The highest spiritual element, the Atman, is unalterable by nature and has a quicker motion than the mind. The sense organs cannot reach it, for it precedes them all. In its stillness, it surpasses all moving things. Only in its presence does the air govern all the activities of all living beings. Only in its presence does the air govern all the activities of all living beings. This sutra has to be understood in three levels. The highest spiritual element, the Atman, is unalterable by nature. Nainan chindanti shastrani, nainan dagati pavakaha. Gita says, Atman cannot be cut by the sword, cannot be burnt by the fire, cannot be quenched or made wet by the water. It cannot be killed by any weapons. The highest spiritual element, the Atman, is unalterable by nature. The first day I was telling you. Now the scientists are discovering electron is atom and wave in the same moment, spontaneously. The quantum, the idea of quantum. Same, the quantum is what we call Atman. What we call as Atman, they claim as a quantum. Unalterable by nature. It's a Nitya. Atman is a Nitya and has a quicker motion than the mind, because the Atman is the energy which moves the mind. Now suddenly all of you think of Bangalore. You will see the mind is in the Bangalore. The very idea Bangalore appears, immediately your mind is in the Bangalore. You know the speed of the mind. But the rishis are telling the Atman is much more faster than the mind. It has got a quicker motion than the mind. Means what? The base for the mind itself is Atman. Atman is the base for your very mind. And the sense organs cannot reach it. as you understand, the sense organs, your five organs, cannot reach the Atman, for it precedes them all. Because, see, have you seen in the villages, when they ride on the horse, they will put a small stick in front of the horse, and in that stick, grass will be hanging. That horse will try its best to catch the grass, but it will be continuously running. The same way, the Atman, how much you try to catch it, it goes beyond it, because it precedes them all. In its stillness, it surpasses all moving things. The small example, if the fan is running too much speed, you will see as if the fan is still. If the top is moving in the full speed, you can't understand whether it's moving or still. The deep stillness and the deep movement are one and the same. It surpasses in its stillness and movement, and only in its presence does the air govern all the activities of all living beings. Because of the presence of the Atman only, the air, prana, is managing. Prana is working in all our living beings. Of course, this needs a deeper explanation, but the next sutras are associated with this sutra. In the next sutra, I will break everything and give you the little more clear explanation, because this sutra is just an introduction. The all other next sutras, few sutras are connected to it. When I explain the next sutras, I will explain every word of this sutra. These two are closely related.